Hello stamping friends, welcome back to another video in my March online technique class. And on this card we're going to be doing two-tone inking. So what does that mean? Well, we're going to be using two different colors of ink. You can pick any colors that you want, and I'm using a bold stamp such as this balloon. And I don't know if you can see on the video, but see how it shades off? So that's the effect that we're after, okay? All right, so let's get started. First, I wanted to tell you that when you are in my online classes, you receive a case to hold all of the supplies. I do this for two reasons. I don't want the cardstock damaged in the shipping. And then the other reason is for you to be able to put it on a bookcase and to be able to pull it later and work on it or add to it or whatever. So in this kit for March, you're going to get 3 technique sections, if you would. And on this one, it's the one for this card. So this card has a two-tone inking piece that looks like this, and I'll show you how you're going to store that in a minute. And then you have the instructions. They're just really brief. And then you're going to be getting a piece of Whisper White and a piece of Basic Black, like that. And then again with the larger Whisper White and Basic Black. I stuck to these colors so that you would be able to use any colors of ink that you have at home. I did tell you what colors I'd be using, but you didn't have to use those. You could use whatever you had. And then it would have the other pieces for the other cards. So there's 3 cards and techniques in one. And then you're going to get 3 envelopes as well. Okay, so you get a lot for your money. And this is free when you sign up for my technique class. Okay, so there you go. All right, so I wanted to show you that and to remind you that you would be getting a PDF with more detailed information on it via email along with the link to this video. Now, how am I going to store these techniques? Stampin' Up! Has a 6x8 album that is through Project Life, and I loved this concept of being able to put the technique on one little card and then the instructions, and then there's a pocket for the actual card to go. And so for March, we were doing the kissing technique, we're doing the two-tone stamping, and then we're also doing a masking technique. So this would be the series for March. And so I hope that you'll join us in April, and I will be sending out the information for what we're doing in April. All right, so I have my cardstock pieces here. Let me set this aside. And the first one I want to do is I want to get my little 3x4 card so that I can have my sample ready to slide into that protector sheet. Sorry about that. I realized that I forgot a tissue and I need that for this technique. So I've got 2 colors of ink here. I'm using Melon Mambo and Crisp Cantaloupe. You can use any colors you want, blues, greens, yellows, whatever you want to use. But I am going to be using the Crisp Cantaloupe first. And I'm going to be inking up this stamp. And the stamps that I'm using is in the Occasions catalog. It is the Celebrate Today, really fun, happy looking balloons for those birthday cards that we always need. So I'm going to ink up using the Crisp Cantaloupe first, and I'm going to just stamp straight down with that. Okay. And again, as always, I'm using a paper piercing mat to give me some cushion under there. If you don't have one, you might try a phone book or even your mouse pad. That might be enough of a cushion for you. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off. And then now I'm going to ink it up in Melon Mambo. So my darker ink, okay? And I'm going to take my tissue, and first I'm going to give it a really good hard wipe to get off that ink. And then I want to go back and just do a blot, blot, blot. I want it to be more, I don't want it to be a stark straight line. I just want it to be blended. Okay, so just tap, tap, tap. And then I'm just going to stamp right over that balloon. Get underneath here. Look how fun. Look how fun. Just kind of shades it and gives it a different tone. Okay. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to get my other piece. That's my larger white that comes in your kit. Let me clean my stamp. And I am using the Stampin' Scrub from Stampin' Up. Love this. I've already spritzed it with some mist, so giving it a good wash and dry. Whoops. Stuck there. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. So watch me again. I'm using the Crisp Cantaloupe. Stamp straight down. Then I'm going to clean. And then I'm going to ink up with the Melon Mambo. And again, and this time I'm going to wipe on the other side just to have a different look. Okay, so wipe that off and then tap, tap, tap. Just kind of, okay. The photopolymer stamps make it so easy to do. If you don't have a photopolymer stamp that you're using, you could use a Stamp-A-Majig to get the same effect. Okay, so see how I did? I've got the shading on one side versus shading on the other. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to emboss the white. There's little stars that come in that set. I'm going to tap my embossing buddy because that ink is still wet. Okay, you don't want to have the powder sticking to the ink. Okay, so I have the little stars here, and I'm going to use some craft white and then just stamp straight down. And you can't hardly see it on the video, I know, but it'll magically appear. I'm just going to emboss one of them in front of you so that you don't have to watch me do both of them. See, there you go. Now I'm going to heat set. Okay, all done with that. So now I'm going to assemble the rest of my card. Oh, nope, I've got to stamp my little basket. I'm going to have that going on underneath. I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink because it doesn't stain the photopolymer stamps like the StazOn would do. Get that lined up. Cute. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble our card. I'm going to get my basic black layer and attach that. Attach this to my white layer, my card base. Make sure my card is opening the right way. Have you ever done that? Put the front on upside down. You can joke about it, but I've done it. Okay, all right, so then I have my other little pieces that came in the kit, and this is where I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. Now, when you're using the photopolymer, the one stamp is happy and the other one is birthday. Just put them together on the same one so that, move that over just a little bit, so that you have one stamping done at one, all your stamping done at one time. All right, again with the black Memento ink. Okay, and then I'm going to attach that to my black layer. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop that up. And I use every bit of my dimensionals. I tell you, there is no waste on that product. I love that. I did put 4 pieces on so that it's nice and balanced. And so then I'll take this to my card and pop it on right there. Okay, that one is done. All right, come back for the next video.